Everybody's having a great Friday. We got things to do, getting ready for our little fall festival for the kitties. We're going to have us a good old time. Oh, goodness. Ooh, wee. My eyes are watering. We got a meal over about 20 miles away, but when the wind blows just right, it blows up in here and it does not smell good. So I apologize. We've hit that point. Hold on just a second. Come here, you. Come here. Hold on. Look, say hello. Yeah, yeah. We puppy said it again. Oh, thank you for eating my glasses. Say hello to the internet. This is Max. You haven't met Max? He's a puppy. He puppy's hard. Go do your business. Well, don't do your business. Just go play. Okay? I'd rather you not. He's going to be under my feet, so this ought to be fun. All right, so in case you don't know, join the Facebook family. You'll probably see more Max escapades, tales of surviving my daughter's driving, and, things that make us family. Huh? Oh, yeah, and being thankful for potatoes, because, I am. I like potatoes. If you're thankful for potatoes, I expect comments. Okay, so you can do that. You can like and share us. Whoop, I'm over here. Okay, you can like and share us. Ring the bell on the YouTube. Do all the things so you get more videos because, who wouldn't want more videos? And last, but I guess not least, if you like what you're seeing and you want to plant seeds into good ground, onelifeatatime.churchcenter.com/giving. There you go. You can give and it helps to further the kingdom, helps to further the videos we're doing, helps to build things up, and we do a lot of stuff for a lot of people. So there you go. Okay, back to the normal stuff. Morning, Andy. I like taters too. I love potatoes. Very, very, very happy about the potatoes. Okay. All right, so let's see what happened last time in the saga of Jonah. Well, firstly, he was a prophet. His job was to be the mouthpiece of God, and God said, hey, go to Nineveh, capital of the Assyrians. Tell them they're going to get destroyed, yada, yada, yada. Jonah says, no. And he goes and gets on a boat, and he goes to sleep in the middle of a sin. Most of the time, that's an accurate picture. When all the stupid is going on in our life because of our sin, we are dull to it. We are oblivious that that's why that's going on, or that's even going on. We don't connect the dots. Connect the dots. Anyway, so he's sleeping under the ship, and then the captain drags him out, and he's like, okay. So they drew lots, and Lot fell on Jonah, and so everybody said, what did you do? What's your job? Who's your God? What did you do? And he gave him the rundown of what he did. Well, he said, look, the solution is chunk me over the boat. They're like, no, we're going to try to get back to land. Didn't work. So he got worse. So they throw him over the boat, and they ask God to forgive him and not to hold his blood against them, which, I understand that. So they throw him over the side. The ocean goes calm, peaceful, and he gets swallowed by a great fish. We went over the logistics of a great fish earlier. Hebrew makes no distinction between whale and fish. However, we know that today, due to whatever their diet or their anatomy, there's not a lot of mammals that would swallow a human. So, however, sharks can get big enough to swallow people whole. And catfish can get big enough to swallow people whole. So it could, in fact, have been a fish. Okay, we need to understand that. He was in there 3 days, and then he decided it was a bad idea, and he repented, and he got vomited out, and he went to Nineveh, and he preached, and everybody in Nineveh repented. It worked. He was a successful prophet. So that's where we left off. Yesterday was a bonus because the chapter was short, so we read 2. Okay? So now let's finish up the tale of Jonah. Jonah chapter 4, and I am in Amplified. Okay. I feel you, Max. I got a land shark hovering around my feet. Okay. But it greatly displeased Jonah, and he became angry. He was successful, and it made him angry. He did what God told him to do. People responded, and he was angry. I wonder why. It displeased Jonah, and he became angry. And he prayed to the Lord and said, "Oh Lord, is this not what I said when I was still in my country? This is why I ran to Tarshish, because I knew that you were gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and great in loving kindness. And when sinners turn to you, you revoke the sentence of disaster against them." Oh. So we found out the real reason why Jonah didn't want to do what God said to do. He wanted Nineveh to be destroyed. There was some hatred. There was some anger. There was some murder in that boy's heart. I want you to wipe him out, Jesus. Well, God, at that point, he didn't know who Jesus was. Wipe him out, God. Wow. We ever get like that about things? Well, God, I that's why I didn't want to do what you said, because I knew. Oh, he forgave them. Anyway. Therefore now, O Lord, just take my life from me. It's better for me to die than to live. Oh man, you let them live. Just go kill me now, God. Just kill me now. Goodness. Then the Lord said, "Do you have a good reason to be angry? Do you, Jonah?" The answer is no. Then Jonah went out of the city and sat east of it, and he made himself a shelter and sat under its shade so that he could see what would happen to the city. God had already, forgave him. No, Maxwell. That's a no. Come here. Hold on, guys. He's picking things up on the floor. I'm going to have to send for his little sitters. Okay. He's biting my arm. I can live with that. Okay. So he sat under a tree. See what would happen. I don't know. Let's see. Then Jonah went out of the city and sat east of it. There he made himself a shelter and sat under its shade so that he could see what would happen to the city. So the Lord God prepared a plant, and it grew up over Jonah to be a shade over his head, to spare him from discomfort. Oh, he got a shelter. Ain't that nice? And Jonah was extremely happy about the protection of the plant. But God prepared a worm when morning dawned the next day, and it attacked the plant and it withered. He killed it. When the sun came up, God prepared a scorching east wind, and the sun beat down on Jonah's head so that he fainted, and he wished to die and said, "It's better for me to die than to live." Jonah is having one more pity party. What business is it of his if God wants to forgive somebody? Who are you to hold anything against them? Who are you to be the voice of what God should and shouldn't do? But people do it all the time. Well, God may forgive them, but I ain't. I tell you what, listen, if they've turned and changed, yeah, you better forgive them, because God's only going to forgive you as much as you forgive them. I forgive you, Max. I forgive you. Okay. Then God said to Jonah, "Do you have a good reason to be angry about the loss of the plant?" And he said, "I have a very good reason to be angry. Angry enough to die." Guess what? Wow, there's a link for you in spiritual warfare. Anger and death. What happens when we get angry? Our blood pressure goes up. It can cause a coronary. Yeah. So there is a link. Okay. Then the Lord said, you had compassion on the plant for which you did not work, which you did not cause to grow when it came up overnight and perished overnight. Oh, yeah, he felt bad for that plant that got destroyed. Oh, yeah, hey, I like that plant. Jonah didn't have it. What did Jonah do for the plant to come up or to die? Nothing. And yet he's going to have a problem. He's not going to be sad about Nineveh getting destroyed. Men and women made in the very image of God. I don't care how bad they were. They were made in the image of God. God still loved them. God still loved them. We better understand that. We better get this whole hateful attitude against people out of our systems. Because God don't play that game. Should I not have compassion on Nineveh, the great city in which there are more than 120,000 innocent persons who do not know the difference between their right and left hand and are not yet accountable for sin? They don't know. As well as many blameless animals. You go whiny pot over a plant that here today, gone tomorrow. But you're gonna be furious that God didn't strike down an entire city with life because of their actions, because you felt like they didn't deserve forgiveness. Let me tell you something. We need to back it up. We need to think how we treat people. Because if God can forgive them, if God thinks that they're worth sending his son to die for, which he does, then we need to rethink how we treat people. That's why, at our church, we're working on the major stuff. What is the major stuff? Loving God and loving people. That's the major stuff. You're being obnoxious. I want you to know that. You're an obnoxious co-host at Maxwell. He's extra. You can't have coffee. That's the last thing you need. We need to think how we treat God's creation, because God has a value on them. We better learn to put the same value on people. Wow. Jonah didn't get it. Don't be like Jonah. Ironic, he's one of the few prophets who had a successful mission, if you will. How many prophets went around saying, turn, 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 or you're going to go into captivity? And, buddy, they went into captivity. We're learning about that in the book of Daniel. How long did Jeremiah say, look, Judah, Israel, if you don't change, you're going down. And now in Daniel, we're seeing the fruits of them going down. So Jonah had a message that the people heard and responded to. That's what we call a win. But he was mad, because it didn't work out how he wanted it to work out. When God tells us to do something, we just better be okay with whatever happens, as long as we're obedient. Hey, people turn, great. If they don't turn, well, pray for them. Have compassion. Don't rejoice in their suffering and in their punishment. That's the wrong idea. Wow. Jonah. Man, there's a lot to learn there. Don't be so full of anger and hate and prejudice and whatever else, racism, sexism, whatever. Take your pick, that you can't see what God is doing. Me and my husband was talking about things last night, and of course I'm going to go there, because people don't think things through, I think, a lot of times, and we have issues. We want to separate ourselves. We want division, and God doesn't want that. He doesn't want divisions like that. We were talking about the word in Genesis used to describe Eve as a helper or a helpmeet? Hold on. I'm pulling it up in the BLB. Why am I going here? Because, we talked about being mad when people turn to God and do what they're supposed to do, because that's where Jonah was. He was mad because Nineveh repented and Nineveh started doing what they were supposed to do. Let's see. Let's find the word helper for Adam. I will make an helpmeet for him. Okay. We're going to look up that word helpmeet because I want to see a cross-reference on it. All right. The word is azer. Okay. And in azer, let's see. Azer is used to describe God as a helper to mankind as well. What you think about that? See, Exodus 18:4 says, "And the name of the other was Eliezer, for the God of my father said, he was mine help," referring to God, "and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh." There's just all kinds. Deuteronomy 33:29 refers to God as the Azer, or the help of Israel. Deuteronomy 33:26 refers to God as the Azer, or help of Israel. Psalms 70:5 refers to God as the Azer, or the help of Israel. What does all this mean? In our minds, we like to diminish the role of helper. But God used this to describe himself. It's not a diminished role. Is God saying that he is subservient to man? That he is, less than? No, he's not. I want to bring out a very important distinction. Eve was not greater than man, but she was his equal in every way. She was a very good thing. A very good thing. And we need to understand that as we walk this thing out in our Christian walk. We have a lot of people that get those angers and those hatreds in their heart, those prejudice in their heart, those sexisms or racisms and whatever, those dividing lines in their heart. And we've got to get those things out, because God's coming back for one body. And let me tell you something, we're better together, and we should be able to bring the God-given gifts that he's put in us to the table, whatever they may be, and to serve in the capacity in which he has called us and qualified us to serve in. Yeah. So don't harbor hate, anger, malice, prejudice, whatever. And don't go off and throw a man baby fit when God uses, when God works on behalf of other people. Bless it. Don't be like Jonah. He didn't get it. It went right over his head. Bless his little heart. But how many people are walking around like Jonah today? Can't believe they did that. Blah, 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 blah. Let's don't be like Jonah. Let's not miss it. Let's not need to be swallowed by a fish to get the picture that, no, you need to go. Let's not throw a hissy fit and wait and think we're going to make God destroy a city. What do you mean? Why? You need to wait and see what's going to happen. God forgave them. God gave them another chance. He ain't going to just destroy the city. He ain't going to do it. He just said he wasn't going to do it. But you think you're going to outlast God? You think you're going to make him do what you want him to do? It don't work that way. It don't work that way. Well, anyway, I could go on and on and on about it. Don't work that way, but I think that's where we're going to be. Wow, we finished the book of Jonah. lessons from the Old Testament. We will be back Monday morning with a new book. Don't know which one. If you got any suggestions, feel free to give them. We will do I don't know if we're going to quite do a live tomorrow or not. We are having our fall festival for our kiddos. If you want to come out and get some candy, we got candy. It's going to be fun. We're going to eat hot dogs. I like hot dogs. I just eat ketchup on mine, but I think there's going to be chili and coleslaw and all the fixings too. 6314 Highway 32 East. Wow. You on an Old Testament kick, Andy? Yeah, we could read about old Job. That's a whole nother set. But anyway, come on out, join us, get you a hot dog. Come meet us. We'd love to have you. Remember, guys, I love you. God loves you. There ain't a thing you can do about it. I'll see y'all